Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 16. I think this is episode 8 or 9. it, I'm trying to hold my tongue. I want to say some stuff, but thank you for coming to my channel. Like this video. You can share it and leave your comments below. If you are new here, I welcome you here. This is a home for you to rest, a comfortable place for you to rest. If some of your faves get attacked, it is what it is. Maybe this is not a home for you, but at least you can enjoy. But if you feel comfortable enough, go on and subscribe and turn on that notification button. Okay, so let's get into this episode because it's going to be short and sweet. Okay, so since y'all in here now, I'm going to say this episode sucks. Until the very end, it kind of got more interesting. And the person that was sucking the life out of this episode is America's sweetheart, Perfect Portia. AKA Pampered Perfect Portia. Just saying. But, you know, she's the one y'all wanted back so much. And for some reason, she's getting all of this understanding because she's going through a divorce. Drew's going through a divorce. Kelly's going through a divorce. Somehow the other two ladies are able to show up. Now, anybody that's really doing anything on this show is Angela. And I really want to know why Angela was not promoted during this press tour and run. And even during the trailer like that. Like, y'all made her last position like she was a bench warmer. And that's kind of weird to me. And really, she's become MVP. Very weird to me. And then y'all highly promoting another person that's not even on the show yet. She's only in a couple of episodes coming up later on. But, okay. Anyways, we start off the episode with a couple of interludes. Of course, the production thing to do is for the wives to call their husbands. Still don't, let me shut up. Okay, so you know I usually call that one girl Sinus. But I've added something more to my catalog. And maybe you can appreciate it or you can't. Snapchat Cat. Snapchat Cat is calling her husband and giving an update on Angela. And says that she's got to be on guard with her because of how she was at the peace brunch. Because she asked you a question while you were lying and being manipulative as to what was going on with your license and trying to act like Kenya is the reason why your license. All I can say is every time she's on guard with someone, it's when they are touching something that she don't really want to talk about. And from an interview I saw with Snapchat Cat in 2022, makes me believe Kenya touched on something that Britt didn't really want to go there with. And I'm just going to leave this with you because I plan on making another video. Is Snapchat and her husband really married? And I'm just going by what her words in this video, in this interview that she did. But I'm coming up with another video. But are they really married? And maybe that's why she only has this engagement ring. Think about it. Okay, so we move on to Shamia. Shamia talks with her husband. Her youngest daughter has been congested for a couple weeks, and her husband took care of everything. And Shamia's emotional and all that good stuff. Shamia's in a confessional, and I hate how this is for women sometimes. I just feel like there is this pressure to be something for their mate, for their husband a lot. A wife. I have to give him a son because of how much he's attentive to their daughter. I think that, I'm a guy, but I think that there is this, I don't know how you can say it. It's like guys get so many points for doing the bare minimum. No disrespect to Shamia's husband. I feel like in general, men get this type of honor if they step in and do the dishes for a night, or step in and put the children to sleep one good old time. And this is no disrespect towards him. I'm just, look, it's just like, okay, so now it's time we need to congratulate men, especially black men, if they do a good deed. But women are always in this position where they got to stay in the trenches and make sure everything works out, and just make it happen on a day-to-day basis. Just a thought, Shamia, you still got to think of your body. And I just think that it's crazy because if you're gone, what's the point in having a son? Like, that should matter more. Your health should matter more than trying to bring in a son. If God gives you one, great. Think about that. Okay, so Cynthia and Angela, they're out on the terrace somewhere, or not terrace, but during around the pool area, and they're talking about Drew. Angela's feeling like, look, I am loyal to my friends, not just to Drew and all that good stuff. Cynthia says, well, Drew kind of brought it on herself as far as working with the baby daddy and not getting permission. Cynthia says that baby daddy's hit different. I don't have no baby daddy, and I'm not a baby daddy. Maybe I shouldn't be commenting on it, but at the same time, I'm not understanding the whole concept of the whole thing, especially when you're not doing anything damaging to the baby mama. And I feel like I don't know. Maybe if Portia can admit that, look, possibly I was too busy to take your phone call and I didn't get back to you in time, and Drew had to make a decision because, hey, it's filming time. If there's some way that Portia could meet halfway with Drew, even though Drew is trying to extend herself, Angela feels like Drew and Portia can work this out. And a logical person could. You would really think that she started up a relationship with this man. I'm gonna wait a few minutes before I want to say what I want to say. Anyways, Drew arrives and says, howdy, itches. She talks with Angela. She comes upstairs. She shows her room, and she's like, oh, nice. Now, if it was Kenya Moore, she would have got her own room at a hotel. Angela says, I think you should talk to Portia to get some of this heat off of me. Some people felt a way about that. In a way, I can get them. They feel like, okay, well, if you're going to be a friend, be a friend. Meaning, be a ride or die type of chick. Meaning, Thelma, stay your tail in the car and let's drive over this cliff together. I get that part. But it's like, okay, well, Drew, you did decide to come. So I guess face the music. I don't know. How y'all feel about that? Oh, my God. I got to go back. Miss Angela, love you. Love you dearly. This is your first season, and you should get a pass. Even though some people say, well, Atlanta is the hair mecca, and why would anybody in Atlanta be showing up looking any type of way as far as with wigs, extensions, or whatever you got in your hair? Miss Angela, I think you got to take a cue from at least Cynthia. I don't think Cynthia was fully ready, but she made sure that she had a hat on and some glasses on. You have glasses on too, because obviously you weren't prepared. You weren't had the makeup on. But ma'am, we see it. It's lifting. It's lifting. So this is your first season. I still think you get a pass. It's kind of hard when you got a cast full of people that can at least have that part down. You'll always be the odd man out in that type of situation. But yeah, ma'am. Or at least get something with some bangs. Or, something that's going to cover that up a little bit. Like, ma'am, So, yeah, get that together, please. Okay, so let's see. Portia telling folks that she thinks that Angela's gaslighting this whole situation. I don't see how. She welcomes Drew. The girls are going out for the day. A part of the group is going to be going to take shots someplace, and another place they're going to get whiskey. So everybody's just going to get liquored up, but individually. It doesn't really make sense that, is it 6 women? Portia, Shamia, and Kelly are going someplace, and then Britt, Angela, and Cynthia are going to another place. Who really cares? Y'all could have came together. That worked on like Married to Medicine, but that was a girls a husband and wife thing, but this would work probably on Miami or even Beverly Hills. I think they got enough people in there. Yeah, but there was no reason to split up this group. It's just like production just doesn't really think outside of the box, and they're too religious at how they're going to do certain things for the show, and it don't work. But I'm not no producer. I don't have no production company, so who am I? Somebody with common sense, though. But before they get to their destinations on the Sprinter van that everybody's traveling on, all of a sudden Shamia starts tearing up. She said that she's got this message from a woman from the past. Shamia was married for a year, and this man, her husband, had abused her. We get a flashback of a function from the Kenya Summer Moore when she did this. What is it called? What do they call those things? It's not a documentary, like a PSA for domestic violent victims. You know, even Cynthia's mom was in it, and I think Cynthia at that point said that a lot of people were angry. They were mad at Cynthia because they exposed the dad. It is so crazy, and I know there's other cultures, but I'm just gonna speak about my race. Black people are so backwards. Y'all will protect a villain every single time over a victim, and it's ridiculous. Y'all see the villain a certain way and can't see that they are actually terrorists amongst people. So anyways, when Shamia shared her story, not on film with Kenya, however, I just want to make note, and will, why are y'all still using Kenya's stuff if y'all don't want anything to do with her? Bravo, truly original, NBC Universal. I guess when Shamia had confessed this, however long, because Shamia said that he struck her so hard that she fell out of her red bottom shoes. The person didn't believe Shamia and blamed her for everything and da 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 da. And finally came around at this moment and started, you know, apologizing for how they treated Shamia, for her just standing up for herself and telling the truth. That's wicked, y'all. I don't have no. At least Shamia could be more at peace, possibly, if she hadn't before. I think it's wicked that y'all would just sit up here and let a man. You will make sure you put on a cape for a black man who's just wicked. You're wicked just like him. And that's for anyone. But I'm just saying that because of how y'all still want to put on capes for certain people. Anyways. Everyone's well, some people are comforting her. Portia finally goes to the back and sits with her. I will say this. I wish Shamia had a one-on-one because it looked very awkward. Not so much as to what was going on, but it's just like, why at this point is this being shared and displayed? Shamia said she was already emotional about her child and she was getting this call and this stuff. I don't know. I just wish she was able to call her best friend and say, hey, this is what's going on, da 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 da. But of course, we got to make sure that Perfect Portia is in the best headspace at all times, especially for her birthday. We don't want to bring her down. Life is life and for everyone. And you're on a reality show. So they do the whole whiskey and shot crap. Wherever Portia, Shamia, and Kelly went to, it was themed around Coyote Ugly. Remember that movie back in, I think it was like 99, 2000, 2001? Tyra Banks was in it. Actually, it skyrocketed. Well, it gave other people careers too. I think her last name is Bello. I think her name is Maria Bello. She had a couple of series on NBC for a while. But anyways, yeah, basically in Nashville, it's they have a thing like that. So they do their thing. They talk about Angela being this one that was trying to make things negative towards Drew. But it was your friends that tried to slut shame her. And I forgot to say that in the beginning. Y'all heard that stupid song Shamia was singing? Her tacky ATL friends, including Monietta, I don't know if she said anything, however, was trying to mold Drew into this whore towards Dennis, who is the slut of ATL, a hot dog slut of ATL. I'm like, wait a minute. Wasn't slut shaming just frowned upon a couple of episodes for Snapchat Cat? Wasn't it frowned upon when people were outed for boloing? Bolo? So now it's okay. Ooh, I heard that she's been given sloppy toppy. Drew, who is married and going through a divorce, is now looked at it when your friend is the biggest. I'm just saying, why does the line keep moving? King is the only slut shamer that is supposed to be called to the red carpet. But you got people that can do it in favor of one of the biggest ones that don't mind sleeping with husbands. And we'll get to that in just a minute. So on the other side of town, you know that Angela, Cynthia, and Britt, I guess it's a good thing that Cynthia came along because there ain't nobody there on this trip. But anyways, Britt has this conversation with Angela to basically say that you're always playing victim. And Angela's like, how so? Blah, 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 blah. Sinus starts talking about, when I came in, you guys were not on my side. Da, 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 da. And Angela said, well, that's not really it. You came in kind of gloating in regards to removing Kenya. And that is true. I wasn't even on the episode, but I did see social media and what you were putting on your IG. And you were cocky about having Kenya removed from the show. So I know what they're saying is true. I don't even have to be there to not know it. So it's like on one hand, you want to be cocky, but at this other hand, you think everybody is just supposed to, comfort you. And then Cynthia opens her mouth and basically says, you cannot tell a person how they need to come in. I said, well, wait a minute, Cynthia. Because everybody's praising you for telling Kenya the truth about what she did and the high standards that you have for your friend. Nobody's saying what Kenya did was right. We're saying that you are readily to defend this woman who threatened your friend with pistols and whips. That you knew about, according to the scene that we saw in episode 5. But you said in interviews that you didn't. I think that is totally hypocritical of you. I've been giving you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm saying that you're saying truth, but at the same time, you're not keeping it real and fair towards your friend. And I think I know why your friend is not with you. I think I understand why your friend is not speaking to you. I kept saying that there's just been some shady things that just don't look right. Like, Cynthia, it's not, you're not 100% correct in this whole situation and how you've handled it. So then Britt was like, I don't understand why you guys don't want to hear my truth. You didn't want to hear my truth. So then again, now it's time for you to play victim. You said Angela's playing victim, but now you need to be victim. Even though we're calling you out about you being cocky. The victim and the villain at the same time. Beyonce already told us this during Act 1. And here you are. Angela says there's probably been some missteps. And we hurt each other. She does not want to admit her wrongdoing. You got to go back to the scene. She does not want to admit her wrongdoing. So, Drew was there. I forgot that Drew was there. Okay. Yeah, Drew was there. So Drew was like, look, we were missing our friend at the same time. Da, 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 da. There was a clash. That's all it was. So now she's saying, well, we can move forward. If we're going to move forward, then what you were doing for Portia at the dinner table, did y'all catch that? It's interesting to me. And what you're going to be doing in the next episode. You suck, Sinus, at this reality game, and I'm still waiting for what the bloggers said that you were supposed to do for this season. You're not it. Okay, so everything's over. They go back to the house, and now they're supposed to have dinner at the house. Everyone comes out with their outfits except for Portia, and everybody's, ooh. And next thing you know, perfect Portia comes down the stairs, all black, and there's no theme, nothing. And there's this dark cloud over her, and she sucks the life out of the room, and nobody knows what's going on. Shamia pulls her to the side saying, what's up? She said that she found out, I think she did, Or maybe she did that in the confessional. I can't remember. Anyways, however, Portia expresses that she found out that Dennis and Drew were filming behind her back again after dude said that he wasn't going to do it anymore. So at the dinner, she was all straight faced, didn't want to interact really. She just wanted to be a bitch. Drew felt uncomfortable. Angela's bringing up in regards to being compared to Drew as just being these victims and wanted more clarification in that because she doesn't feel that way. Britt wants to open her mouth and said, well, you invited Drew without her permission. And she said, well, I really didn't get that she was not invited. She didn't say that Drew wasn't invited. And Drew wasn't on the call, so she wasn't invited on the call, da-da-da-da-da. So you should have got it from there that Drew wasn't coming. You don't know how to open your mouth at 43, 44, 45. I don't know how old you are. Teeth. You don't know how to do that? You don't know how to say, Drew is not invited. Because I remember there was a backflash of Angela asking about Drew. You were too busy trying to play these shady games and saying, oh, it sounds like Angela's connection is off. You don't know how to say, no, Drew's not invited. So Angela took it upon herself and to do what anybody that's on a reality show needs to do. Invite Drew. So Drew, again, was telling Portia, as she's just sitting there, Portia, happy birthday to you. I brought you a present and all that. It doesn't look like I need to be here, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just going to go. You got Kelly, which you were annoying this episode because what are you doing? Anytime the grease gets hot, not even towards you, you try to create all of these deflections. Oh, where's the fish? Where's the fish? What is that? What is that? So the only person that can put somebody in the hot seat is you? You are weird and being weird. I'll just say that much. So, what's her name? Drew basically gets up and goes. Shamia was trying to stop Drew. Like, let me ask this question. Shamia, stop it. You wanted to be her representative yet one more time. Who cares? Angela wanted to get some accountability out of Portia. Portia basically said, kiss my A. And all of a sudden, like, people acting like, well, Angela was like, well, why am I giving accountability and she don't have to be accountable for anything? And Kelly, you had the question. Did you get the answers that you needed? And Kelly said, yes. Did you, Kelly? Because we didn't hear it. What was the accountability that you got out of her and the answer? So anyways, kiss her A, blah, 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 blah. The rest of the ladies, they go in the pool. Angela's windows open at 1:30 in the morning or whatever, and she's overhearing these ladies talk about her like a dog. Angela starts recording them, and she says it's not even that long of a recording. Anyways, Angela goes down to the pool and says, I hear you talking about me, da-da-da-da-da. And I hear that you're saying that she better be careful or I'm going to F-U-C-K, Charles Oakley. Portia denies it. She denies it in her confessional. Kelly says Portia did say that in her confessional. And Angela feels disrespected. We know Portia and what she's capable of doing and what she will do. This is now, she's already done it to 2 husbands. She didn't take the first husband, but she at least got one of those cars in season 7, which is Simon's cousin. Then she was able to take Simon, and now she's ready to run after another Simon. Y'all can say, oh, she was just drunk. Well, when you're drunk, doesn't the truth usually come out? So, blah, 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 blah. I think that's all I need to really say. Portia, you didn't belong on this season. You should have sat it out. But I understand why you are friends with Giselle. Giselle can suck the air out of the room and control the atmosphere, and so can you. I understand why y'all are friends. This episode still sucked, despite me going off because I'm really rambling about people on this show. But the only person that's really trying to do anything on this show is Angela, and I think it's pathetic. Y'all all got checks. Y'all all got peaches. And Cynthia, you looking kind of foolish out here because I think you still owe Kenya some apologies, despite you not being totally wrong in what you said. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. But that's all I do have. Until next week. Peace.